Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Offline. Today in this session, we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our newspaper. First of all, we are going to launch anthropology batch from August 3rd, guys. And yesterday we did with our orientation session. And if you have not attended to that session, don't worry, we are going to upload that session in YouTube today or tomorrow. You can watch that session in YouTube, guys. And if you want to join this anthropology batch, please to contact us on the number which is appearing on the screen. Don't forget, even you can message on that number on WhatsApp so that our team will be helping you out. Okay. So now let us see important topics which we are going to discuss in this class. First one is pellet guns, part of graded police response, says Supreme Court. This topic is important from polity point of view. And here it is talking about pellet guns, which is part of your science and technology. You can expect a prelims based question about this pellet guns in your prelims 2027. Our next topic is activists raise alarm over PM CARE's denial of access to audit statements. Here this article is talking about PM CARES. There may be a potential question on this PM CARES because this article can also be related with RTI. RTI is nothing but Right to Information Act of 2005. That is part of your governance. We are going to see PM CARES and we can link with RTI. Why it is in news, we can understand. Our next topic is ration benefits cannot be stopped over deletion from voter roll, says High Court. As you know about SIR and even Telangana also it is going on. So because of this removal of names in that voter list after completion of SIR, now there are lots of petitions that are filed in this Calcutta High Court related to this denial of PDS system. So now here we have to see what exactly this Calcutta High Court said, and recently Supreme Court also gave judgment related to this SIR. We have to interconnect both this Calcutta High Court judgment and as well as Supreme Court judgment. Next topic is clearance in reverse. Top court note for post facto approval must not be read as support for amnesty. So here this article is talking about this ex post fact or retrospective environment clearance. In our yesterday's class we saw just in brief, but now we are going to see in detail about that. And this topic is important from environment and ecology. Our next topic is the Bay of Bengal as India's Shanti anchor. And this topic is the utmost topic of the day. You may get mains and as well as prelims based question on this Shanti vision. So here this is important from your IR, from international relations. Okay, now let us see one by one. Read out the title, guys. Pellet guns, part of graded police response, says Supreme Court. Okay, what is the keyword? Pellet guns. Did we discuss about this pellet guns in our earlier class? What we discussed? Metallic pellets. Next. Okay, it is not lethal. Okay, it is not lethal. Next. Come on, think and recall the things. If you recall. Okay, used in emergency purpose by police and as well as armed people. Accepted. Next, first time when they used in India. In Jammu and Kashmir. Next. Any other points that can you recall? Recently used in CJP protest. Okay. What happened in the CJP protest? Why the CJP protest? Next, Chalo Sansad. Next, come on, think and tell me. Why did they started protest? Related to NEET paper leak. Next, Sonang Wangchuk. Next, reforms. Okay, what they demanded? Resignation of Union Education Minister. You know all these things, right? Okay, so what was the story is? You know about this NEET paper leak and you know about the statement given by CJI that led to the birth of this CJP, Cockroach Janata Party. And now the students, they started protesting from Jantar Mantar. And even one more incident which happened on the sidelines was opposition party people, they asked for answer for this three important topics in this first day of monsoon session, right? But ruling party ignored that. So because of this opposition people also started doing protest. And this people also gave support for the students, and everyone started this movement called as Chalo Sansad. If police people are not stopping them, what happens? It will create law and order problem. So it is a responsibility of our police to control law and to control this crowd. So what kind of mechanisms they can use? They can use tear gas, they can use water, they can use pellet guns, and they use this pellet guns. Because of this, many students got injured, and many images were there in the newspaper. The problem with this pellet guns is, in one shot, it can release hundreds of pellets. Whenever we have any soft tissue like skin, it will go into that. It will not go into bone, but for the soft tissues, it will penetrate. And sometimes it requires surgery to remove that pellets. And if it is shot in the eye, there will be a permanent eye loss or vision loss. So because of this, what happened? Whoever the students who had been injured because of this pellet guns, they filed petitions in Supreme Court. Because of this, this article is in news. What they said in these petitions? They are asking to permanently ban this use of pellet guns. Okay. So for this petition, now Supreme Court is hearing that petitions, and Supreme Court gave certain guidelines related to this. Because of this, it is in news. What Supreme Court said? Pellet guns are part of graded police response. Are you understanding the title now? So if you understand this story, now we can read this title and we can understand that Supreme Court is supporting use of pellet guns. Where it is written? I think we discussed about it. Where it is written about use of pellet guns? Come on, think. I think I made you to write in your book also. Check once. Fast. Open this pellet guns. When we discussed, at least, I think 5 to 6 days ago. Come on, think. Check fast. Online students, in the meanwhile, please tell me where it is written about use of pellet guns by police. In BNSS. Next one is in Code of Conduct. Code of Conduct of Police, and in BNSS it was clearly written to use this non-lethal methods to manage crowd. Very good memory. If you are like this, it will be difficult, guys. Every day I am telling you to revise. If you are not revising, then what can I do? I cannot give my memory to you, know. If I can share my memory, I used to share. It is not at all a big deal for me. Memory is important. Maintain proper diet. Increase your fat consumption in your food. The reality is, whenever you are studying, you need more energy. You need more energy because your brain will consume around 60% of oxygen you breathe. And what are the energy you are generating in your body? That will consume more than 75% by your brain only. Because it will work continuously, 24/7. Even when you sleep also, you'll get dreams. At that time also, your brain will be working. So proper diet is very important. Include dry fruits in your diet. At least 5 badam, 5 kaju, and walnuts. Walnuts is an important source of fats. That too, good fats. Take that every day. Maintaining of diet is very important for your memory. If you are focusing on junk, you will lose your memory. That's for sure. Okay. What is this? Okay. See this, guys. So this is about the context, you know, about this Cockroach Janata Party. They did demand for resignation of Education Minister, and they conducted this Chalo Sansad movement. So because of this, police started to maintain this law and order issues. They used this pellet guns. Now what Supreme Court said is, Supreme Court observed that the use of pellet guns by the police in exceptional circumstances is part of their approach. If they want to control this civilian protest, if they want to maintain law and order, for sure in some exceptional cases they has to use this pellet guns. But the problem here is, Supreme Court didn't said what is that exceptional circumstances. They didn't elaborate what all. Again, is this a loophole or not? You already read polity. In polity, you will come across lots of loopholes. You know about this Keshwananda Bharati case? What it is about? It led to evolution of this concept of basic structure doctrine. But what is it? No one knows. Who will tell what comes under this BST? Again, Supreme Court only. In the cases, it came up with a list. And we don't know like what will be the next basic structure doctrine will be added in that list, right? So here also the same thing. They said that in exceptional circumstances we can use this, but they didn't define or they didn't expand it on what does it constitutes. Okay, that's the thing. And even one more important point said by this Supreme Court is, if we want to go for blanket ban of this pellet guns, it is a vague. It is vague. Why? Because if we want to go for complete ban, how can we control this crowd? Will they use directly bullets? It will be lethal. They are non-lethal methods. We can use this so that we can control law and order. If you want, we can make certain rules and regulations regarding when to rule, when to use, what to use, which kind of pellets we have to use. We can make such kind of changes, but blanket ban cannot be done. That is the ideology of the Supreme Court in this petitions. Okay, now how you can expect a question? Consider the following statements regarding pellet guns. And under that, UPSC can give you 2 to 3 statements or 4 statements. It can frame you a question. And second type of question can be used, can be given on which kind of pellets used in pellet guns. We have 3 types of pellets. You need to know that and keep star mark for this. In 2027, for sure, 99% you can get a question on these pellet guns. Because of judgment, because of use, because many students they got affected and discussions are going on about this pellet guns, debates are also going on in news channels. Because of this, it is a hot topic now. So you may get a question on that, and you will be also applying for IPS. You will be keeping preference also as IPS, right? That means in future, if you want to control this law and order, you need to know which kind of guns are there first of all. Yes or no? It is your responsibility to maintain law and order. So you need to know, of course. Because of that, UPSC can ask you a question. Use common sense. Okay? Yes. Now let us see about this pellet guns. Pellet guns are less lethal. They are not highly lethal compared to that of traditional gun. And next important point here is it is used for crowd control and riots, protest management. And next one here is in one shot, it will release hundreds of small pellets. Okay, and next one important features. The first one here is multiple pellet discharge happens with a one shot. And this one is if it is a gun, in this way the pellets will be released. Yes. So here it can have a wide area coverage because pellets spread in a cone shaped pattern. In this pattern the pellets will be spread so that we can cover lot of people. If you are using a gun, traditional gun, we can aim or we can target a person and we can shoot that person with one shot, only one bullet is released. But here we can cover wide range of people. It is less lethal. And next one here is, yeah, that's it. And you have to say about types of pellets. We have 3 types of pellets. Please make a note. Lead pellets, rubber coated pellets, plastic pellets. Lead pellets, rubber coated pellets, plastic pellets. Recently we discussed about lead. Why? Yes, normally 90% of children in our country, especially in this national capital region, they are in contaminated sites. Especially schools are there in this contaminated sites. Because of this, lead pollution is happening. Because of this, which kind of impact is seen in children because of lead exposure? Nervous system will be getting affected. Which exactly the effect? Myelin sheath of neurons will be getting degenerated. So that there will be attentive disorders in children. Yes, that is the effect. And in adults, which kind of effect we can see? Kidney damage, kidney failure. Yes, can you recall that? So if they are using this lead pellets, can't you think in adults it can cause damage to their kidney? Yes. So here, normally, traditionally, earlier they used to use this lead pellets, but it is having lots of negative impacts on the health of the people. So they shifted to rubber coated pellets. So if they are coating with rubber, obviously there will be less injury severity. And next, they started using this plastic or composite pellets. They are very less harmful compared to that of earlier two. Okay, so this is about this topic, guys. On this, you may get a question. Next, see this article, read out the title. Activists raise alarm over PM Care's denial of access to audit statements. And this topic is important from your governance. So here, what is the keyword? We have this keyword PM Cares. And now activists are raising alarm. Why? What do you think? To ensure accountability. Next. Okay, now let us see about in detail regarding PM Cares. And now I'll tell you later on, I'll tell you why this activists are raising alarm. Why? What is the reason? Okay, what is this PM Cares? First of all, you have to know about the full form. PM is Prime Minister. Citizen Assistant Relief Emergency Situation Fund. PM Cares is Citizen, A for assistance, R for relief, in emergency, S for situation. That means in emergency situation, government has to provide relief for the people, right? It has to supply food, it has to supply medicine, it has to supply basic amenities. For that reason, now our government started this PM Cares Fund. Fund is nothing but money, right? They are pooling some money and they will use this money in emergency situations to provide relief for the people. That is this. So when we got emergency in our country during COVID-19, when it started in 2019 November and December. In November they found in China, and after that from December onwards it transmitted to different countries, right? So in 2019, after we got this COVID-19, at that time we came to know what are the problems which are there in our healthcare system. We don't have proper oxygen cylinders. At that time it was a very difficult situation. We don't have proper beds also, ICU units, even hospitals with number of beds also very less. Yes, compared to that of population. And even doctors, nurses, we know many people, they lost their life because of this problems in our healthcare. At that time, in 2020 onwards, government started this fund to provide relief for the people in emergency situations. Okay, and what is this fund? Who will give this fund? Normally Indian citizens, voluntarily they can contribute. Or else we have companies, industries, organizations, they can also donate some amount of money under this PM Cares. And even we have one concept called as CSR. Do you know this CSR? Anyone? Yes, corporate social responsibility. What is corporate social responsibility? We have factories, we have industries in our country. They will release pollution. Because of that, who will be affected more? Poor people will be affected more. So, whatever the profits they are getting, 2% of their net profits, they have to spend for society. It may be in health, it may be in education, it may be in serving old people, whatever it may be, but they have to spend certain amount. That is 2% of their profits on this society. So now these companies or factories, they can also donate this CSR funds to this case. Like that, now government is maintaining certain funds that can be used for if there is any calamity like earthquake or landslide, avalanche, or if there is any disaster like flash floods, and even floods are going on in Assam and Odisha. Are you following that? Floods are going on. In that situation, they can use. Or if there is any emergency in India like COVID-19 pandemic, in future if there is any Ebola or any other thing, so here we can use that fund. Okay, so now the problem here is, if government is collecting that much amount of money, do we need to ensure transparency and accountability? Yes. In governance, I think you came across this topic of RTI. What is this RTI? Right to Information Act. What is this Right to Information Act is about? If you want to get information from government, you can file, what is that website? RTI only. How much amount you have to pay? 10 rupees. Within how many days you will get information? 30 days. What happens if they are not giving information within 30 days? You can file. Who are the officers in RTI? You know all these things, right? So actually, we have some exceptions. What are that exceptions? And you wrote mains answer also on that exceptions. We cannot get personal information. Actually, this PM cares is not coming under the ambit of RTI. It is outside this ambit of RTI. That means if you are filing the RTI related to give information about this PM cares, they won't give because it is not covering under ambit of RTI. If it is not coming under RTI, will people know about the information of how much funds, who gave, at present how much fund is there in that, where they had used, how much they had spent, in which area, in which state. Do we get all this information? That is about this article, guys. So if we are not getting information, if government is getting some lakhs, crores of funds under that, will this activist be silent? Read this title once again. Now you'll come across this. Now you'll know. Tell me, guys. Read this. Activists raise concern, raise alarm over PM Cares denial of access to audit statements. Yes, are you connecting the dots now? If UPSC wants to give question, how it can give? Exceptions. In that exception, now you can write this also. Not only personal information, even PM Cares is beyond, outside of this ambit of RTI. Are you understanding what exactly I'm saying here? So in that way, you have to connect dots. That will be your value addition points. Okay, unless and until you connect what exactly you're studying in your class and what is happening on the reality, you cannot write a good answer. Are you understanding now how questions will be framed and how you have to add this value addition part? So from prelims, how question can be given? Consider the following statements regarding PM Cares. Under that, it can give you statements. Clear? Now let us see about this PM Cares. Okay, if you are preparing for other examinations, they will ask you full form also. UPSC will be conducting the CAPF CDS exam now. In CDS 2026, they gave simple question. What is full form of SIR? They gave you ABCD options. Oh, not statement based. Only what is the full form of SIR? ABCD option. That's it. It is very easy, no? If you are writing other kind of examinations, don't miss this kind of simple things. So UPSC can ask you, what is the full form of PM Cares? Because it is in news. It may ask not in CSC exams, that's civil service examination, but in CDS, CAPF, it can ask this full form. Please make a note of that, guys. PM Cares, please make a note of that full form. Prime Minister Citizen Assistance and Relief in Emergency Situation Fund. And it created in 2020 following this COVID-19 pandemic. That is the idea. Why? To combat and to provide containment and to provide relief for people to come out of this emergency situation. And it had been registered as a charitable trust. And here you have to know the composition of this trust. We have Prime Minister is ex officio chairman. Ex officio chairman of PM Cares is Prime Minister. And we have other members, Defense, Home Affairs and Finance. 3 members. Why only these 3 members? Defense, for sure, emergency they will work. And Home Affairs will be taking care of health. Finance, obviously they have to release money, so Ministry of Finance. So these 3 are the members of PM Cares. And the power is given to Prime Minister if they want to nominate any board members of this trust. He can nominate 3 members. So this is the entire composition of our PM Cares. Clear? That's it. What are the objectives? You know about these objectives. And you have to know about these contributions. It is entirely voluntary. If I want to give, I can give. If you want to donate, you can donate. It is entirely voluntary. It is not like mandatory provision. And who can give? Individuals, that is citizens of India, and even organizations in our country can contribute money to this fund. And next one important point you have to see here is, whatever the amount you are giving, it will be exempted from income tax. That is the one benefit why many companies will donate money to this PM cares. And next one is even under the social responsibility, corporate social responsibility, what are the funds they'll give? They can donate under this PM cares. So these are the contributions which are for this PM care funds. That's it, guys. And here you have to add this point in your RTI notes. Already governance is going on. Just take out the handout of RTI Act and try to add this PM cares is also out of ambit of RTI. This will be a validation point. Okay, see this next article, guys. Ration benefits cannot be stopped over deletion from voter roll, says High Court, Calcutta High Court. What is the story? Anyone? It is not at all a new thing. SAR started in which state? First they started in Bihar. Later on they expanded to different states. Okay, what happened in this SAR? What is the full form? Special Intensive Revision. What they are doing under that? Removing duplication, removing ghost voters and ineligible voters, foreigners. Only they want to make this electoral list clean and green. Why? What is the reason? To ensure free and fair election. Where it is written in our constitution about this free and fair elections? Article 326. Next. Article 324. Article 324 gives power for whom? Election Commission of India. For what? Conducting elections, superintendents, conducting everything. And what Article 326 talks about? Not age. Universal adult franchise. You have to use this word, universal adult franchise. What is this universal adult franchise? If you get 18 years, you have right to vote. That is Article 326. You have to use this kind of keywords, not like age. Okay, universal adult franchise or universal adult suffrage. Okay, so what happened here because of SAR? Some lakhs of people's name has been deleted from this voter list. If they are not having proper documents, if they are not available at that time, obviously their right to vote has been gone. Their name had been deleted. And they can file, if they are eligible, they can file in where? Tribunals. And this tribunal judgment will be final. Yes? I think tribunal is done or not? Yes? In that tribunals, whatever the judgment given by that tribunal or award given by the tribunal will be final. It is even binding. Yes? So here, if the name of eligible people is gone means they have an opportunity to file an application in tribunal and what are the award given by the tribunal will be final. So here what happened in this West Bengal is around 90 lakh people they lost their names in electoral list because of SIR. And you know West Bengal government changed. Which government is in power in West Bengal? BJP. At least you need to have this kind of basic knowledge. Even if you can't remember the CM name or other important ministers, at least you need to know which state, which government. That is important. Then only you can understand this topic of cooperative federalism, why central government and state government issues will be there. All these things you will understand. So here West Bengal government changed. Now the present we have BJP party is in power. So what this BJP government of this West Bengal did is, we want to link PDS with SIR. And they released one notification. Only the people name in SIR are eligible to get this PDS. What is PDS? What is this public distribution system? They'll get food grains on subsidized prices. What is the normal cost of food grains under this PDS? Any idea? What they'll get under this PDS? Only rice? Only rice? Sugar. Ragi, oil, wow. Pulses. Actually, under this PDS, they'll give wheat in North India. They'll give rice in South India because it is a staple food. North Indian people will depend on wheat. South Indian will depend on rice. And next one is they'll give pulses. Normally, the cost under this National Food Security Act of 2013 is rice is for 2 rupees, wheat is for 3 rupees, pulses for 5 rupees. That is the subsidized price on which food grains will be provided by the government to people who are eligible. Who are eligible here? Come on. National Food Security Act. When we came up with this act, is it done in your governance? National Food Security Act? No, not it. Okay, we came up with this act in 2013. So actually, you know that many people are poor. Many people are belonging to this below poverty line in India, and they are facing hunger, malnutrition. So if India is not healthy, can we boost our economy? So for that reason, our government of India came up with this act, that is National Food Security Act in 2013, to ensure food security. Under this, the people who are eligible, who belongs to this below poverty line, they will get subsidized food grains. If they are from North India, they'll get wheat. If they are from South India, they'll get rice. Apart from that, sometime during festivals, they will also offer other kind of products in this ration shop. It is voluntary. If you want, you can take. If you don't want, you will not take other products. But rice and wheat you have to take. Right? Okay. So under this, we have two components. One is PDS system. One is Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Do we have any update about this Antyodaya Anna Yojana? Any update? What is that update? Under this, how much grains of food grains they'll get? So under this Antyodaya Anna Yojana, normally family is eligible to get 35 kgs of food grains, irrespective of family members earlier. But what is the update now? Now per person, how many kgs? 7 kgs. If in that family, if there are 2 members, 14 kgs, 3 members, 21 kgs, 5 members, 35 kgs. Then what about more than 5? 6 members means they will get only 35. So till 5 members, they will be getting food grains based on the number count. If there are more than 5, they will get only 35. Right? Why? Because these 2 members, they are getting 35. What they will do with that grains? That will lead to black marketing also. That is a major problem in PDS. Do you know this black marketing? They will bring for 2 rupees cash and they will sell for 20 rupees, 10 rupees, 15 rupees. In villages, it is possible. It is there. Like that. So they want to control this kind of black marketing. And under this they will be getting like per person how many kgs? 5 kgs of food grains, right? Okay, now this article is saying that 90 lakhs people, they lost their names. And in that 90 lakhs people, some of the percentage of people, they are part of this PDS system. But recently, Food Department of West Bengal government declared that we will connect this PDS with this SIR. Only if your name is there in this electoral list, you are eligible. And now what happened? Will the people be silent? They filed petitions in High Court. Now, High Court said that ration benefits cannot be stopped related to this SIR. We cannot relate this ration with SIR. Even Supreme Court also said the same thing. Yes, we cannot interlink welfare schemes with SIR. SIR cannot be used for identification of citizenship. Only it can be used for electoral process. For non-electoral process or for welfare schemes, we cannot. The same thing which said by this High Court also. And High Court said that we will take some time and we will try to see the issue in depth and we will update it later on. That is about this article, guys. So here we have to link Supreme Court judgment, High Court judgment, and you have to see welfare schemes, you have to see update of Antyodaya Anna Yojana, and you have to see National Security Act, National Food Security Act, and you have to see SIR. All these are involved here. Here, if you read for the first time, you will not understand anything. If you know all these things, then only you can understand this. This is about this topic, guys. If we get any update related to this, again, we will be discussing about that in detail. But almost everything is discussed. Okay, see here. Clearance in reverse. Top court not for post facto approval must not be read as support for amnesty. I want to ask a question. What is the meaning of this word amnesty? Can you see here? You know, top court not for post facto approval must not be read as support for amnesty. If you know the meaning of this word, then only you can decipher the meaning of that statement. Saying sorry. Next. What is meaning of amnesty? Anyone? Hmm. Come again. Violating rule, not exactly. It is simply forgiveness. Amnesty means forgiveness. Here, Supreme Court is saying that if you give not for this retrospective clearance, it is not read as supportive for forgive. We cannot forgive that thing. We cannot forgive this ex post facto environment clearance. What is ex post facto environment clearance? Project is done, and while the project is started, they are taking this environment clearance. But what is the rule according to Environment Protection Act and Environment Impact Assessment rules? Before starting of project itself, we have to take clearance. Then only we have to start. But if you started already and you are taking after that project or ongoing project, means it is not forgivable. That is this article. In yesterday's class, we discussed only this, but there are a lot more things which are given here. We are going to see in detail and keep star mark for this. You may get a question on this in mains and also prelims this time. Because already I said in 2025 there was Supreme Court judgment, but in 2026 exam they didn't give any question on this. But in 2027 there is a chance because it is repeating in current affairs. So if any topic which is repeating for more than 2 to 3 years, they are called as contemporary topics. Current affairs is if it is there in the news, it is called as current affairs. If that topic is repeatedly seen in news from last 2 to 3 years, then it is called as contemporary topics. On this contemporary topics, you will get mains questions. Okay, on current affairs, you will get prelims. But on contemporary topics or contemporary issues, you will get mains questions. That is the difference. Okay, if you are aware of this contemporary topics, if you make the note of that and if you make the list of that, for sure, you can write around say easily your mains questions. Okay. Now let us see this. So this article is saying that Supreme Court squashed with prospective effect of 2021 office memorandum issued by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, so I'll tell you in simple way. So in 2021, we have Ministry of Environment, right? In our country, we have Ministry of Environment, Climate and Forest Change. So this came up with OM, Office Memorandum. And this Office Memorandum gave permission for retrospective clearance. Our Environment Ministry, for its administration purpose or to make its administration easy, it came up with Office Memorandum in 2021 and that led to retrospective environment clearance in our country. So if there is any question which asked about where is the source of retrospective environment clearance in our country, means Office Memorandum of Ministry of Environment which came in 2021 is a source of retrospective environment clearance. Okay, now Supreme Court squashing means stuck down this 2021 Office Memorandum of Ministry of Environment. You know about this null and void, ultra vires? What is ultra vires? What is null and void? And Supreme Court judgments? Supreme Court has this power of what? Yeah. Okay, so what are the three important organs of our government? We have legislature, we have executive, we have judiciary. What is the function of legislative? Make laws. They will simply make laws. Who will implement on the ground level? They will implement on ground level. Then what is the work of this judiciary? Interpretation. Interpretation is nothing but we have law of land, that is constitution, and that we have lots of provisions, lots of articles. So whatever the laws made and implemented by this executive, whether they are according to our constitution or not, who will check this? Judiciary will check this. If those are according to our constitution, it's okay, it's right. But if they are not according to constitution, what it will do? It will strike down and it will make them null. It is null. Null means nothing. It is nothing. Null and void. Void is it is wrong. And it will make it as ultra vires. It is, that means ultra vires is nothing but this laws which are made by this legislature and implemented by executive, they are overriding the constitution. So it is called as ultra vires. You have to know this. Okay. So here the work of judiciary is to interpret the laws made by legislator, and if it is according to constitution, it's okay. If it is not, means it is stuck down, it will make null and void or ultra vires. So this kind of words you have to use in your answers in polity. Okay, I'll tell you now here. So what is 2021 Office Memorandum came up by Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change in 2021, and it led to institutionalization of ex post facto environmental clearance. That is nothing but it allowed industries and infrastructure projects that had begun operations can take environment clearance after starting of this project. That is called as retrospective or ex post facto environment clearance. And what Supreme Court said here? Supreme Court said 5 important points. First one is prior EC is mandatory at any cost because it is written under Environment Protection Act and even Environment Impact Assessment rules that we discussed in yesterday's class. And next one here is it made 2021 Office Memorandum ultra voice. That means it just stuck down, it made null and void. Okay, why? Because it is overriding our Environment Impact Assessment rules and as well as Environment Protection Act. It is against that. So here we are making that null and void, we are striking out. And next one is there should be no parallel environment clearance regime. We have Environment Impact Assessment rules, we have Environment Protection Act, and we have to follow that rules and regulations. Why we need to have one more parallel mechanism? There is no parallel environment mechanism that to be followed. Because of that, we are striking this OM. And next one is retrospective clearance cannot become a permanent policy. It should not be a permanent policy. Only if there is an extreme emergency, then only we can go for retrospective clearance. But it should not become a permanent. Okay. And next one is we have one principle called as pollute and pay principle. You will study about this in your environment classes. Pollute and pay principle is nothing but we have a company. After establishing of company, that will release lots of emissions into atmosphere, right? So because of this, what happened? Environment damage is happening, pollution is happening. So who is polluting the environment? They have to pay. This is called as pollute and pay principle. So here, this OM is supporting this pollute and pay principle, no? Yes or no? You can start the project and later on you can take clearance. That is, it is supporting this. So here, Supreme Court said that we cannot allow this pollute and pay principle. We are rejecting it. So we want to strike down this OM. So these are the important observations of Supreme Court judgment. Okay. And here in your mains, you may get 10 marker question on significance. How you can get a question? What is retrospective environment clearance? In the light of recent Supreme Court judgment, explain the significance. Is that a possible question or not? For sure, because it is a contemporary topic. So what is significance? In significance, you have to use certain keywords in your answer. First one is it can protect environmental governance, ethical governance. You'll have this kind of words. Environmental governance, ethical governance, good governance. You have to use these words. And next one is it will strengthen integrity of environmental impact assessment. And it will prevent executive overreach. I think you might have came across as judicial overreach, judicial activism, legislative overreach, executive overreach. You have to use this kind of words. And next one is it will ensure greater accountability. And next one is it will promote sustainable development. Okay, and we can protect environmental safeguards. So this kind of strong keywords need to be there in your answers. So with practice, you will get that. Okay. And say this next article, guys. This is the most important article of the day. Read out the title. Bay of Bengal as India's Shanti anchor. What is Shanti? Amma, very good. It is not that. I thought I'll get this from you. Earlier we discussed about Shanti Act, which talks about promotion of private sector and nuclear energy production. But this is not that Shanti. This is another Shanti. Okay. So to understand this, we need to know basic, guys. Do you know about this UNSC? What is the full form of UNSC? United Nations Security Council. So how many members will be there? You'll study about this in your IR class. So as of now, just remember, we have United Nations Security Council, which is international organization, which will focus on enhancing peace and security across the world. So we have 15 members in this. In this 15 members, we have 5 are permanent members and other 10 are temporary, or we can also call it as non-permanent members. Permanent members are P5 and non-permanent members are 10 members. Non-permanent members will have tenure of 2 years. Only we have 10 seats. World is very big. We have how many continents? 7 continents, right? So based on these different countries across the world, they allocated this 10 seats. For example, Africa 3 seats. For Asia group, it is 2 seats, like that. So now, why it is in use is, and one more thing here is, every year, we have 2 years of tenure, right? Every year, for 5 seats, there will be elections or voting. Every year for 5 seats, there will be voting. Okay. Who will be the members? Who will elect them? You know about this United Nations General Assembly. We have 5 important United Nations organs. I think in your school days, you might have studied in your 6th or 7th or 8th standard. No idea. In Telugu, we'll call it as Aikya Rajya Samiti. You know this? Have you heard this? So in that we have 5 important United Nations organs. In that, one is United Nations Security Council, and one more important one is United Nations General Assembly. So there are around 193 members in this United Nations General Assembly, and these people will participate in this voting. Okay. So here I'll tell you the story. See here, we have 10 members. Out of this 10 members, every year for 5 seats there will be voting. And now India is contesting in this elections case from Asia group. Normally I said from this Asia group there will be 2 seats under this non-permanent members. I said elections will be done for 5 seats every year. So for 1 seat there are elections. The time period is for 2028 to 2029 to be the non-member of United Security Council. India is contesting. And who is the opponent? Any idea? Pakistan. Not Pakistan. It is India versus Tajikistan. Where is Tajikistan? In map only. Where? Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan. How many stans are there? 5 stans. You have to see the location. Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan. Okay, you have to see 5. Okay, they are near to Afghanistan. They are called as Middle East. Middle East. Okay. So now between this Tajikistan and India, we are going to have elections. Whenever we want to contest in elections, we have to do campaigning. No, without campaigning, can we get votes and can we win in the elections? Even normally in some schools, there will be school leader, captain. For that also there will be elections. They will also promise something, no? Recently in Chaitanya school, one of my kid, actually we have a joint family, many kids. One of my son is studying 9th standard. And he stood in elections for captain of school entirely. So in that, what the promises he did, you know, he said, I'll give you 2 5-star chocolates for entire school. And we came to know later on. And next, one more promise is there will be 2 PET periods for games. So this kind of campaigning he did, and we came to know after 1 week. And actually we changed the school recently. I think they were going to school just for last 15 days only. Within this 15 days, how is it possible? We were like surprised, we were astonished. Like, how did he elected as captain? and we did some survey and we asked his friends, and we came to know that this kind of promises he did. What is this? Shunting, everything happened for one day and we left. I don't know from where you'll get money. You will go, you can earn, and you can give your chocolates. So like that, we did lot of things. Entire last Sunday was this only. And we don't know this Sunday what will be the topic of the day. Every Sunday, we'll have this kind of one topic discussions. We'll enjoy that Sunday. Actually, we'll wait for Sunday. That is the reason why I won't come to home. We'll take one guy and we will play with that and we'll come back. So here, India also wants to come up with a campaign to win in this election, right? So that campaign is Shanti Vision. Have you understood? Shanti Vision is a campaign India came up to win in this non-temporary seat of United Security Council for the time period 2028 to 2029. So if UPSC wants to ask a question, recently Shanti Vision is in news. In that, it will give 4 options. One will be for sure private sector promotion in nuclear, and one will be to win elections in UNSC. Everyone will do wrong for sure if you don't know this current affairs. Clear? And one more type of question you can expect is consider the following statements regarding Shanti Vision, and you'll read like some new statements and you'll keep all are wrong, because you know Shanti is about nuclear production. Okay, so be aware. If you are having similar kind of wordings, you have to know clearly what exactly the difference between those two. Those will be the traps used by UPSC normally. Okay, and from mains point of view, UPSC can ask you about United Security Council. It can link about what are the features of the Shanti Vision. Do you think India will win? What is the eligibility of India to be the temporary member of United Security Council? Like that, UPSC can ask you a question. Many a times it asked in IR about this UNSC. So this is very important because already India had 8 terms as non-permanent member of this UNSC. And India is fighting for the reforms in UNSC. Because of this, it is very important. So now let us see in detail about this. UNSC has 15 members, 5 or P5. And you have to know about those P5, please make a note. We have China, France, Russia, US, UK. China, France, Russia, US, UK or P5 members. And next one is, we have 10 non-permanent members and they are elected for tenure of 2 years. And United Nations General Assembly members will be participating in this voting. And which majority they need? You know majority, no? I missed majority. What is a majority we need? We need special majority. That is 2/3 of present and voting. Majority is required to win that seat. Okay, and next one you have to remember is about grouping and how many seats they are allocating. So Africa has 3 seats, Asia Pacific 2, Latin American Caribbean 2, Western European 2, Eastern European 1. Europe is very small, but you can see contribution it has 3. Asia is very big, Asian Pacific only 2. So like that there is some unsymmetry you can see based on the allocation of the seats. On this also India is asking to reform. We want more number of seats. Okay, and India is contesting for 2028 to 2029 term and we have to wait and see. I don't know whether you will be writing that exam or not. If you clear this examination, you won't need to update that whether India won that or not. Unless and until if you get IFS service. Okay, so let us see. Yeah, next let us see about some features. First one is we are amplifying global south. What is global south concept is about? We have global north, we have global south. Global south is a group of countries which are developing and least developed countries. Okay, and what is global north? It is about group of developed countries. So and India is leader of global south. And if India gets a seat in UNSC, obviously what are the problems are there in this global south? Obviously India can showcase that problems in UNSC. That is the one thing they said. And next one is, already India is better equipped. India is having good technology, and recently India became the third country to launch what? Private launch vehicle in right, that is Skyroot. And next one is India also supporting United Nations peacekeeping forces. Do you know India is contributing around 3 lakh Indians as part of this peacekeeping? And India participated in more than 50 peacekeeping missions of United Nations. That is a one achievement of India, so that we can get this seat. And next one is India is also working on different problems like terrorism, climate change, and ensuring maritime security, and even it is focusing on navigation, global shipping lanes, everything. So because of this, obviously we'll get support from countries which are sharing boundary with Indo-Pacific region. And next one here is, obviously India is following proper technology upgradation, and even we have good development partnerships with other countries. So here India also said that we will also improve infrastructure in other countries, because India is having lots of projects in Iran, lots of projects in Afghanistan. Like that, if other countries support India, obviously we can also have this kind of infrastructure partnerships in your country also. So these are the provisions and features of this Shanti vision, guys. That's it. And India already served 8 times as UNSC non-permanent member. So these are the years. And most recently is 21 to 2022. And now we are contesting for 28 to 29. That's it, guys. And say these questions. With reference to United Nations Security Council, consider the following statements. First one is UNSC has 15 members. Next one is all members of Security Council has equal voting rights. So actually only P5 countries has veto, not all. So this will be wrong. And next one is non-permanent members are elected by United Nations General Assembly, UNGA. Yes, non-permanent members serve for tenure of 2 years. So answer will be 1, 3 and 4. Okay, see this next question. With reference to Shanti vision, consider the following statements. First one is, it seeks reforms in global governance. It emphasizes on mutual trust among nations. It seeks stronger representation of global south. It proposes abolishing veto power of permanent members. Nowhere we discussed about veto powers. So 4 will be not there. Answer will be 1, 2 and 3. So in this way you can get a question, and keep star mark for the Shanti vision, guys. Don't forget. That's all, guys. By this I'm concluding. If you like this video, please hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And if you want to be updated on current affairs, and if you want to make your UPSC preparation easy, please do subscribe to our channel. Don't forget. And I wish you all the best.